American tech company, one of the fastest tech companies in the world, has just made headlines by admitting they're not hiring staff based on diversity, equity and inclusion. The company instead is hiring people based on, wait for it, their intelligence.
What?
The CEO of Scale AI says that instead of hiring people for their colour or their sexual orientation, they're instead hiring people for their ability to do the job, which may explain why in just 8 years the company has gone on to become worth $14 billion. The CEO of the company, Alexander Wang, wrote on Twitter, "We've formalised an important hiring policy at Scale. We hire for MEI, merit, excellence and intelligence. That means we hire only the best people to do the job. We seek out and demand excellence, and we unapologetically prefer people who are smart. Upholding meritocracy is good for business, and it's the right thing to do." Caleb and Liz, we've seen a real push for DEI after, of course, the death of George Floyd, and then companies were encouraged to redress historical wrongs against, women and LGBTQ members and people of colour by seeking to employ them. But over the past 4 years, companies have realised it's not good for production, it's poisonous to corporate culture, and it's bad for everybody. It puts qualified people out of jobs they should be doing, and it puts unqualified people into jobs they have no place to be doing, like Claudine Gay from Harvard University or Kamala Harris, to name another, as the US Vice President. Are you surprised, Liz, that someone's actually decided to employ people based on intelligence?
People are getting back to business, and the business of business is to make money. So I'm sure any shareholders in a place that upholds the DEI principles are noticing we keep missing out. There's a reason why guys like Elon Musk can buy Twitter, fire 80% of the workforce. He used to have 8,000 employees. Once he was done culling, it was just 1,500. That behemoth now runs off just 1,500 people. And he was able to do so because he kept the smartest, the slickest, the most hardest working. It was a merit-based selection process. And I think more and more people are waking up to the fact that, hey, even if it's just in terms of cutting the fat, in comparing the number of employees we have to the ones that we need in order to run our ship smoothly. So thank goodness, because we all know if you do away with the hierarchy of competence, you just get chaos. And that is what we are seeing breaking out in these corporates, whether it's little ways or large. And we saw this, it would have been last week alone, with Bud Light, with Target, with these companies that took up these massive woke campaigns, cost their shareholders dearly. I bet those guys aren't so passionate about DEI hiring in the workplace anymore. Your job is to make us money. Get back to basics. I've
got to disagree with you on the Twitter thing, though, because if Elon Musk had not got rid of all those staff, we would be free of our e-safety commissioner. So I wish...
How do you figure that?
Well, she used to work for Twitter.
I think she was... I'm pretty sure she was floating around in the public service before Elon Musk got to Twitter. And look, may I open by saying it's nice to have you back on the Late Debate, James, and you... are proof that it is you are still useful as a member of the workforce after the age of 50. So maybe you qualify under the DEI measures. And
I was thinking of a birthday cake on Wednesday for your birthday, but you've blown it now, Caleb.
I'm sure Sky News is going to milk that for all it's worth in terms of subsidies that we might be able to get from it.
This isn't what he told me. Caleb said how much he'd enjoyed hosting and he wished you weren't coming.
Oh, here we go. Don't listen. Don't believe a word Liz says.
It's true.
She is full of garbage as usual. But isn't it extraordinary that here we are opening a television program in 2024 with a story about checks notes, a person who is hiring the best person for the job. What does that tell you about where we have come to? That it is literally a story when a guy says, yeah, I'm going to hire the best person for the job.
And we wonder why we have a productivity problem in this country.
I'm going to unapologetically prefer people who are very smart. That's a news story now. What does that tell you about where we've come to? And it was only a matter of time before this was going to happen. Because if you look, and it's not only employers who are obviously starting to reap the consequences of what they have sown, but it's also all the people who have to work with these people who are not appointed on merit, who sit around tapping away or whatever their job might be and actually getting the work done. And then they look around them and they've got people there who have been hired on the basis of the fact that they're filling a quota and going, hang on, I have to make up for the extra slack that they leave behind. What DEI does is not actually promote excellence in the workplace. It doesn't actually make anyone who is promoted to a job through those means of a quota, be they female, black, gay, whatever you want to pull out of the grab bag. It doesn't do anything to help their cause because it makes everyone else go, why the hell did you hire this bugger? They're not doing the work. People want to work with other people who also want to work. And what you've had is a blowback now, not only from the employees, but the workers, because they can see it and feel it every day as well.
And they've got no reason to excel. I mean, how frustrating is that when you know it doesn't matter if I'm the best in the department, I'm not going to get that promotion because I'm a guy or I'm a fill in the blank. This is how they got the infamous joke of the USSR. They pretend to pay us, we pretend to work. No one's trying to excel, no one's trying to get ahead because they all knew there is a certain system we're operating within here and it doesn't reward the hardest work.
And this was entirely predictable because long before anyone thought of DEI, you'd hear guys on work sites talk about the fact they've got a new guy on the work site and he's working too fast. And so we told him, you've got to carry less bricks, slow down, buddy, because you're showing. So that's human nature, right? And so the DEI thing was entirely predictable that it was not going to be good for productivity or for business. Fortunately, corporate are starting to work it out. You've got to go back to meritocracy. About 10 years from now, hopefully our politicians will work out that our political parties would be best served by appointing the best people rather than having quotas for political parties. Then we'll get a better country.
I just wonder how fast you can actually unwind it, though, because when these policies... I mean, these policies have been pushed for the better part of 10 years now, and particularly you look at things like politics, quotas for women, etc. So if the employers decide that they're now going to go away from DEI and they do want to go back to actually just hiring the best person for the job, all these people who thought they were guaranteed jobs just on the basis of some attribute that really had nothing to do with doing their job, they're going to start to squeal and the noise will be absolutely deafening. So, and again, it's the businesses have kind of done it to themselves, right? Because they promised something that they're now going to renege on. But I reckon the noise that's going to come out of that's going to be extreme. Like, how are we going to deal with that?
Oh, the accusations of racism, the accusations of bigotedness. Is that a word? It is now.